Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. And while I wait for you guys to log in, let me tell you a little bit about. I'm dying. ah. My name is RODGON. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a cartoonist. I'm an illustrator. And, today I wanted to hop on here and then just draw a little bit with you guys. So there won't probably be many people on here, and they won't be here logging in anytime soon. But if we do happen to get somebody in here, it would be really cool to know your guys' name, where you guys are from, and all that stuff. If you guys happen to catch this later on the YouTube channel, that is also great. You guys can have access to this knowledge. And today I'm going to teach you guys a very simple thing, and it's going to be a quick lesson. The lesson itself is going to be how to build a human structure of the face, building from a simple box in a teardrop shape. That is going to be the whole concept of today, and we're going to be going through the whole drawing process several times so you guys see how easy it is to be able to develop this. Now, this is my SAM method for the head. This is Simple Anatomy Mannequin, and this is the RODGON method. This is the way that I normally establish how to draw faces. I split everything in half, I create a teardrop, and I create a human structure, or a human head in general, with very simple shapes. That is going to allow me to be able to take that knowledge and be able to transfer it to different designs really easy. Being able to find the outer edge of my skeletal system allows me to be able to draw human characters really simple, with a lot of precision and with a lot of styling. Hello, how long is this stream going to be? And can you stream on Friday, the weekends? I mean, I normally do stream on Fridays and the weekends, but I normally stream through TikTok. So if you guys want to catch me on more streams, that is going to be the best place to do it. Mostly because it's easy for me to download the streams there, and I tend to have a bigger audience there. So that's the reason that I do it mostly on the TikToks. On YouTube, I normally don't stream unless I'm really bored, and I've already streamed on the other platforms. Why? I don't know. Honestly, I only get maybe 10, 20 people on the stream at any given point if I'm lucky, whenever I stream here. As opposed to 300 or 400 or even a couple thousand sometimes over on TikTok. So that's the reason why. The amount of engagement that you get is just insanely bigger on the other platforms, so there's no reason for me to spend my time doing it here. Can you draw a female face? Sure, Mario. You're very vocal today. So a female face, especially in the proportions that I like to draw it, is more akin of just a circle. And then you use this bottom part right here to create the nose and the jaw structure. If you do that, you have a nice little pin-up-y face or anime face or whatever you want. And it's very, very well suited to being able to draw quick female characters really easy. So that is something that you can use. A little circle, that's all it takes. A circle, you split it in half, and then this front part is your face and your jaw. You can set the eyes to be bigger, smaller. This is going to be the side hair. This could be all the details of all the hairstyles you can possibly want. And ta-da, you have yourself a nice little character. Can you draw a female face? Nice drawing. I love it. Good evening. Good evening, my friends. How are you guys doing? Today's lesson is going to involve the head. We're going to keep it nice and simple and nice and quick so that you guys don't have to stay here forever. The concept today is going to be learning how to draw the skull from a box. The box is going to give you 4 equal sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you have those 3, 4 sides, and then from there, you take the bottom parts and you draw 2 circles, or you draw a triangle to identify where the mouth is going to be. From there, you can draw a teardrop to come up with the mouth space and your chin, and then all you gotta do is connect your sides together. So by doing that, you have access to drawing a head really easy. You can use these guidelines to be able to draw things in whatever styling you choose to draw. But at least you'll have a better understanding of where all the things are supposed to fall within your structure. I'm doing great. I'm doing good. And I get to draw all day today. So that's cool. What kind of markers do you use? I've been using Tombow. They're essentially a big watercolor. So they work really well with the ballpoint pen. When you're trying to draw something 3/4, it's actually really easy. Just shift the midline a little bit to the left or to the right. Draw a circle on the side and draw a teardrop. Split this in half at an angle that's about 35 degrees. And you have yourself the side of the face. It's actually quite intuitive and quite simple to be able to do this. There are other tips and tricks that go alongside this that allow you to understand where all the little indents go in your head, but that's something that we can leave for another video. I just did one of your classes earlier. Woohoo! Nice. Was it the ones that we were talking about, the legs and the body and stuff? I'm going to be offering study sessions too. The study sessions are going to be weekly, and they're going to be once a week. And they're going to be tailored to people that want to learn more about a specific topic. And it's going to be awesome to just admit maybe like 10 or 20 people so that we can have like a nice general discussion and actually have the time to be able to give everyone some time to be able to talk. So it's going to be really cool. I would like to learn how to draw the ears better. Okay, so the ears. The ears in themselves are going to be placed alongside where your eye sockets go. So if your eye sockets fit within the 1, 2 second part of your head is going to be divided into 3 parts. 2 that are nice and static, which is your eye sockets and your forehead. And then you're going to have your jaw. Your jaw is going to be able to move, so you draw this separately, and you don't draw this with any volume because the volume is going to come from whatever you said the structure of the jaw is going to be. If you want a big superhero type of guy, you would have a really big structure for your jaw. If you wanted a character that's more like a little kid, you would just have a little tiny jaw. So you have access to being able to draw a lot of characters like that just by itself, just by identifying those 3 parts. But the ears are always going to fall within the second structure right here, which is what I call the feature zone. The feature zone is features number 2. Number 2 has the ears, the eyes, the eyebrows, and part of the nose. And then the rest of it comes from that teardrop. Just comes in the form of your mouth and your chin. So being able to manipulate where your ear is going to be just a matter of taking a square and taking this bottom section and growing your ear from the bottom up. Your ear is going to go from the bottom of this up. And then if you have an earlobe, it's going to go below that. If any earlobe, that place where you put the earrings on, are going to go below that line. So anything without an earlobe goes before it. Anything with an earlobe goes below. The nose is going to split this little section in half. It's going to look like a little hourglass. That little hourglass is going to give you access to a little circle. That little circle gives you access to a little triangle on the side right here. That little triangle, if you draw a little circle on the side, it gives you the nice flat side of your skull. And then when you look at this from the side, you're going to have that same circle is going to be the same height as 2 of these, and then the ear is going to be right in the middle of that. So that's where your ear sits. If you have an earlobe, it goes below. The teardrop gives you the rest of the head, match the curvature, and you have yourself a 3/4 face or a frontal face. Cool. Will it be online? This will be online, yes. Hi, RODGON. Thanks very much for your vids. What would you recommend as a beginner to do first? I've been trying your bids, but there's a steep learning curve. Really? You think so? A lot of the times whenever I'm giving examples, most of the time, even if it's just a simple eye, I like to start from a circle and then start building the volume up for the things that I'm going to draw. Normally, I use it by drawing circles inside my shapes. If I draw circles inside my shapes, it gives me guidelines. Those guidelines can be used with my imagination alongside with what I know already to be able to create details that give me depth and definition. So a lot of the times, learning how to draw just basic shapes is incredibly useful, and it's one of the most underrated skills. Being able to just draw basic shapes cleanly can allow you to have a lot of fun with very simple characters. But it's also going to help you be able to develop your line work to be able to do more refined things or more detailed things down the line. So you don't have to always stay to the simple stuff with this sort of knowledge. It's always going to just progress to a more complicated thing the more you learn. Yeah, so what I would recommend is you just begin by learning how to connect circles together, little edge exercises, making things bigger, see what happens, making things smaller, see what happens, making things go even steeper down, overlapping, making them big again. Seeing how things like this move elements in space is going to be the key factor to being able to draw things later on in the form of, I don't know, feet, legs, shoes, arms, fingers. All that stuff comes from understanding how to move these basic shapes in space. If you want to learn how to draw cool hands, you need to learn how to overlap lines to create the illusion of depth. If you don't know how to do that, and this is too complicated for you, then you have to go to a more basic level, right? You got to go into cylinders by connecting shapes. Understanding how much of this overlap you choose to draw is going to give you the definition for your finger. And then paying attention to how the detail works, in the case for fingers or hands and stuff like that, it's about learning a little bit of proportions. But once you understand all those concepts, you still have to input imagination. So it's not just about learning all these things. You have to learn these things and also be able to do them in creative ways. That's why it's not easy to be an artist. There's a lot of things that go into play here, and it's not normally very easy to be able to adapt to all these things that you need to do, especially when it's on command. When you have to do it because your job depends on it or whatever. Hey, do you use a lot of pose references in the beginning? Yeah, absolutely. When you're beginning, it's all about learning the basic concept of the rib cage and the hip bones. If you learn the correlation between these two things, it's going to be a lot easier for you to draw your poses. Okay, the hip bones and the rib cage are what separate. Learning this is what separates you from knowing how to draw animals, drawing how to draw monsters, knowing how to draw every single sci-fi thing in the world. Just understanding how to draw a rib cage and hip bones can help you understand how to draw things like dragons. can teach you how to draw a lot of things that you might not think that come alongside learning how to draw a human skull or human body. The thing is, a lot of mammals and reptiles and animals that have evolved in the same way have the same general properties. They have a rib cage, they have hip bones, and they have a measure of a collarbone, even if it is something like a bear or a human. So you're going to have a lot of variation that comes along with understanding how to draw just the basic human structure. And that can be as easy as drawing an egg, a line, and an arrow. The arrow becomes your hip bones, which you can draw as little circles and then draw as little triangles and create depth like that. Your arms are going to come from a compass that you draw at the top of that circle. You draw the compass and you make the arms go from the outside edge of my arm into the inside volume. So you go outside edge of your arm, inside volume. Connect the edges. And then this circle becomes your head. So understanding how to draw human structure doesn't have to be very complicated at first, and then you can add all your muscles and details later. You can add all that stuff later once you have a nice implemented base form. And that's what Sam is. Simple anatomy mannequin. So, going over the head again, the head is a box. If you draw a box, two circles and a triangle, you have yourself access to the two parts of the head, right, up until the nose. If you draw a circle on the sides, you have yourself width. If you draw yourself here a little tear bag, tear duct or a tear, you have yourself your jaw structure and your mouth. And then you just connect the outsides to the butt. It's going to be really easy for you to find out. You connect the head by following the width of the head down and drawing a circle and an egg. This is going to give you a compass. And this is going to give you the collarbone, the neck muscle connectors, and also the back muscles and the part of where the shoulder is supposed to go. So all that information from that little compass. And it's really, really cool because you can progress really quickly from that. You have changed my art forever. What evaluation do you have to test my skills? If you want to learn how much you've progressed, I have a little evaluation test that you can take. And it's something that you can do on your own merits. But it's on my Instagram, so you can look for it there. Drawing a head looking up in an angle is a nightmare, is it? Let me show you how to draw your head looking up really easy. So, if we have a head, a basic head, let's just draw a normal head, okay? A normal head and a normal neck. We're gonna have the bottom of our chins, and the bottom of my chin, my jaw is gonna touch the bottom of my chin, and it's gonna touch the bottom of my ears. Well, what happens if I move this up? If I move this up, let's say over here, bottom of my ear, the ear is gonna rotate, okay? The ear rotates to go down. Then from this bottom part of the ear to the bottom part of the chin, to the bottom part of the ear again. This becomes a teardrop into two circles, and you have yourself your drawing from the top. So you don't have to necessarily be very much confused by it. It really is just moving a circle and the connecting point with your ear, right? If you have that, all you do is move the bottom of the ear, the bottom of the chin. You rotate this up, you rotate the ear, bottom, bottom. And you have yourself an upwards V at an angle. How do you determine the size of the eyes? Well, the size of the eyes are going to be dependent on what style you want to accomplish. You can take that same concept, not exactly the same concept, and apply like an anime style to it by drawing really big eyes, some really cool, interesting line work inside. You know, you can have like a really cool anime look. Right? You can have something like that that'd be really easy to do, or you could have something super complex and detailed because it's not necessarily being guided by style. Whatever you're drawing here is being guided by your knowledge and your ability to think of something cool to put in there. It's not guided by a certain like conceptual style. Like I'm not telling you like you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. No, you can apply any sort of styling you feel like it. And that's the beauty of the way that I teach. It's not meant for comics, it's not meant for illustration that are cartoons in general. It's meant for all around. You can draw anything you want with this. Because it's basically just adapting to the concept of drawing a skull. And that skull can be modified to draw different things. Okay, so that is something that you can use and play around with. Your homework for tonight is going to be to draw boxes. Draw your details within your feature zone. And then add a mouth, a chin, a teardrop. So like makes that simple, putting everything within a teardrop. And then connect to complete your shape. Try different sizes for your teardrops, tie different tops. If you want to draw the top rounder and draw the bottom part a little bit more squared, you're going to get a little bit more skulification. Play around with styles, facial expressions, and stuff like that as well. See what you can do within the parameters of this new knowledge. You're going to be surprised. A little rabbit? Yeah, you can do anything. You can do anything with the skull. So a little rabbit would be big eyes, a little tiny mouth. So that would be how you would draw a rabbit. And knowing exactly how a rabbit looks. Looks like a chinchilla now. Can you show how to do a basic bike structure using a bike? A SAM is not used for bikes, but if you're trying to find the person riding a bike, it would be you would find the forks, go up, handlebar, depending on what type of handlebar you would draw. From here, the handlebar would go onto the frame. This is not going to connect to anything. This is going to go to the bike frame, which would have a seat right here. You would have your pedal right here, pedal on the other side. This would connect to my chain. My frame would be more like a triangle. This would connect back to the back wheel, as well as here with a chain. Probably have a connecting point right there for my frame as well. And then the person, whatever person's riding, would probably be riding it by sitting on the seat, pedaling on the wheels. and holding the handlebar. Adjust the size of the wheels as needed. It's like a low rider bike. If you wanted to draw something like Harley or something like that, it would just have to be modified to have some sort of handlebars, a tank, an engine, some sort of back kit right here, and maybe give it a helmet instead of it giving it. Right, so it would be a matter of depending on what type of bike you want to do, what kind of feel you want to get. Damn, he's going anyways. Can you please draw a Cybertruck now? I mean, he did it faster than if I had caught the live rock on. Dang, it's bedtime though. Yeah, we're about to be done with this too. Could you draw a Chihuahua? I'm not your guys' monkey drawing thing. I'm here to teach you guys a lesson. And I think that I have accomplished that. So if you guys wanted to learn how to draw the head, you guys will now have that knowledge. If you guys caught this live a little late, you guys can go back and look at the live later on when it actually ends up processing, and you guys will know how to draw heads. Enjoy, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.